Yogis come to the meditation center to practice Dhamma. Why do you come to the meditation center to practice Dhamma? To gain happiness. Today we have to listen the meanings of Dhamma and Dhamma practitioner. When Buddha appeared, the Dhamma also appeared along with him. The Dhamma means what Buddha realized at the moment of his enlightenment, and also what he taught during 45 years of his ministry. The word Dhamma in Pali language has many meanings. Actually, it can mean almost anything. But today's talk, we will use the word Dhamma to mean merits or meritorious deeds. So you come to the meditation center to develop merits, to develop meritorious deeds. A person who practices merits, who performs merits, is called Dhammachari or Dhamma practitioner. Dhamma here means just merits or meritorious deeds in general. So when you practice charity, when you make donation, then you are practicing Dhamma. When you help some people, you are practicing Dhamma. When you talk to people amicably with good intention, with loving kindness, then you are practicing Dhamma. Now today you observe 8 precepts. You abstain from killing living beings. You abstain from stealing, sexual activities, daily lives, and intoxicant, and taking meals afternoon, singing, dancing, etc. Then you are practicing Dhamma. You are keeping your moral precepts. When you help in people doing good and community work and so on, you are practicing Dhamma. And also when you practice meditation, you are practicing Dhamma. There is one verse which appears many times in the text and the commentaries, and that verse says something like this. Dhammo have rakati dhammachari, dhammo suchaino sukhamavahati. Esa nisanso dhamme suchaine, na dukkadeng gicchati dhammachari. That means the Dhamma protect the person who practice Dhamma, who practice it. The Dhamma well practiced produce happiness. This is the benefits of the Dhamma well practiced, that a person who practice Dhamma does not go to existence of suffering. Now you are practicing the Dhamma, and Dhamma will protect you. Our life is not safe, totally not safe, totally not secure. We need to have safe. And when you practice Dhamma, when you observe Sila, moral precepts, charity, and Vipassana meditation, you have to practice meticulously and continuously. You need to practice well, and the Dhamma well practiced will produce happiness. You want to gain happiness. You don't want to go down to the existence of suffering. Then you have to practice Dhamma. So these words need to be remembered. Can you follow me sentence by sentence? The Dhamma protects the person who practices it. The Dhamma protects the person who practices it. The Dhamma protects the person who practices it. So there is the first one. And then you need to practice Dhamma very well. You need to practice seriously. You need to practice continuously. You need to practice faithfully. And that Dhamma well practiced will produce happiness. Need to remember, follow me. The Dhamma well practiced produce happiness. The Dhamma well practiced produce happiness. The Dhamma well practiced produce happiness. So this is the benefits of the Dhamma well practiced, that a person who practices Dhamma does not go to existence of suffering. So Dhamma will guarantee you not to go down to the suffering, but you need to practice Dhamma completely, seriously, faithfully, meticulously. So this sentence need to be remembered. Dhamma practitioner does not go to existence of suffering. Can you follow me? Dhamma practitioner does not go to existence of suffering. Dhamma practitioner does not go to existence of suffering. Dhamma practitioner does not go to existence of suffering. So very precious sentence. Dhamma hawi rakati dhammasari, we are not safe. But if we practice Dhamma, Dhamma will protect us, we will be totally safe. Dhamma hawi rakati dhammachari. The Dhamma protect the person who practice it. Here protect means protect from falling to the four woeful states. You will not be hungry ghost, you will not be animal, you will not be go down to hell, etc. if you practice Dhamma. So we Buddhist people believe that there are many lives. There are many lives in past. There will be many lives in the future. And those lives can be good or happy lives, or those lives can be bad or unhappy lives. If we cannot achieve total purification of mind in this life, that is, if we do not become Arya, if we do not become noble person or Arahant in this life, there will always be lives in the future. And if we have to be reborn in the future lives, we want to be reborn in lives where happiness prevails. Or we don't want to be reborn in the existence where suffering is predominant. In order to avoid going down to those woeful states and to be reborn in happy states, what we need to do, we need to do something, or we need to practice Dhamma. The practice of Dhamma can keep us from falling down to those states and help us to be reborn in better existences. So the Dhamma we practice protect us from falling to woeful states. If the Dhamma is practiced with the view to getting out of the rounds of rebirths, this practice of Dhamma can lead us eventually to getting out of these rounds of suffering. So when we do marriage, we have to do with the view to getting out of the rounds of suffering. Idame punya nibbanasa picaya hotu. May these marriages be a strong support to attain nibbana, cessation of all suffering, cessation of all suffering nature. Ordinary meritorious deeds such as giving, charity, keeping moral precepts, and so on can help us to be reborn in happy states. But this cannot lead us direct to the attainment of Nibbana. In order to attain Nibbana, cessation of all suffering, and to get out of this rounds of suffering, rounds of rebirth, we have to practice vipassana meditation. So vipassana meditation can lead us to that goal, but the meritorious deeds we do in the form of charity, keeping moral precepts and so on, can help us to be reborn under circumstances where we get the chance to practice vipassana meditation. So the meritorious deeds we do in the form of charity, keeping moral precepts and so on, can ultimately or through some steps send us or help us to the opportunity to practice vipassana meditation. Now we reborn as a human beings because we have done meritorious deeds in the previous life. We have done charity that charity or morality send us to the opportunity to be reborn in the human realms. And then as a human beings, we have a chance to practice meditation. So the merits we do can always protect us from falling down to the woeful states. And also, if that merit is directed towards getting out of rounds of rebirth, it will lead us to get out of rounds of suffering. Dhamma suchaino sukham mavahati, Buddha said. Dhamma suchaino, Dhamma well practice, sukham mavahati, produce happiness. Now well practice, suchaino means practice with understanding of the karma and its results. Buddhists believe in the law of karma. Buddhists believe that there is what is called, and also there are results of the karma. Karma may be either good or bad, good karma or bad karma. So the results are also good results or bad results. Buddhists believe in the law of karma, and this belief is not just blind faith, but belief founded upon understanding. With this belief, people do meritorious deeds. When meritorious deeds are done with this belief, they are called practicing Dhamma in a correct way or practicing the Dhamma well. And also when we practice the Dhamma, we should practice with seriousness. We should practice with reverence to the Dhamma. So when Dhamma is practiced in this way, it is called Dhamma well practiced, Suchaino. And the Dhamma well practiced can bring happiness to those who practice. Happiness here means both worldly happiness and supramundane happiness. Happiness in this world and happiness that transcends the world. Happiness in this world means rebirth in happy states, rebirth in human world, or rebirth in celestial realms. And supramundane happiness in the attainment of enlightenment. So these two kinds of happiness, the Dhamma well practice can bring. Here again, in order to get supramundane happiness, we are not to be satisfied with just doing the general meritorious deeds, like giving and keeping moral precepts, but we have to practice vipassana meditation. And Buddha said, at the beginning of the discourse on the four foundations of mindfulness, Mahasatiparana Sutta, that the practice of mindfulness is the only way for the purifications of minds of beings. When your mind is totally purified, there will be no more craving, no more ignorance for you, and so there will be no more rebirth for you. In order to reach that stage, mindfulness is the only way. So we have to practice mindfulness to reach that stage. Mindfulness practice, following the instruction given in the discourses and given in the commentaries, will lead us to our goal, that is to attain enlightenment or to achieve total purifications of mind. Esa nisanso dhamme suchene na dogate gichati dhammachari, Buddha said. That means this is the benefits of the Dhamma well practiced, that the person who practices does not go to the four woeful states. Now the Dhamma has the meaning of something that holds or that keeps. So when you practice Dhamma, it can hold you, it can keep you from falling down to the four woeful states. That means from being reborn in the four woeful states. When you practice Dhamma in your next life, you will not be reborn in these four woeful states. Now we practice Dhamma, whether it is the ordinary practice of charity and keeping moral precepts, or practice of meditation, we get instant happiness. When you practice charity, when you give something to somebody, you experience the joy of giving. You are happy that the recipient gets something to satisfy him with, and you are happy because you can help that person to be happy. That is one happiness or joy you get from the practice of giving. And the other benefits from the practice of charity is that you are able to get rid of your attachment. You are able to get rid of your craving for the things that you give away. Beings are naturally attached to the things they possess. So there is always attachment and also worry and anxiety about that properties. When the properties or that things is given, the person who give away not the only things, but also the attachment or craving for the things. When craving or attachment is got rid of, your mind becomes clear, and so there comes happiness. So when you do meritorious deeds, first there is joy of doing it. There's joy of helping other people. There is joy of getting rid of mental defilements at that moment. There is one kind of joy you get from the practice of Dhamma. The other joy is when you experience or when you enjoy the benefits of the act, that meritorious deeds. And meritorious deeds can bring results in this life, or your meritorious deeds can bring results in the next life or in the lives following the next. Most people think that when they do meritorious deeds, they will get the results in the next life. But according to the explanation given in the commentaries, the meritorious deeds can give results not only in the next life, but also in this life. So you get results from the practice of Dhamma even in this very life. There was a story of Dhammapala families. There was a Dhammapala family or Dhammapala clan, probably in India, long, long ago. And that family members of that Dhammapala clan did not die young, and they lived long lives. At one time, a young man from the Dhammapala clan, so that young man, Dhammapala young man, was sent to another place to study. And when young man Dhammapala was there, a young person died. So Dhammapala young man was surprised, and he asked, young man died? Young man died? Why people die young in this place? He curious, he very surprised. And other student asked Dhammapala young man whether no young people in your village, in your place, or in your country, no young people die? And Dhammapala young man replied, yes. In our Dhammapala clan or in our Dhammapala country, no young people died. When people old, they die. Young people, no young people die. It's very strange. And the professor or the teacher did not believe him. So he wanted to inquire that is true or not. So the professor took some bones of the goat and carried them to the father of the Dhammapala country, and told the father It is the bones of your son. He died. Professor said. That means Professor lied to the father of the Dhammapala young man. But the father of Dhammapala young man laughed. No, I did not believe you. I do not believe you because nobody in our clan, nobody in our country die young. It must be bones of another person. The father of young man Dhammapala said to the professor. Then the professor asked, why does happen? And the father of Dhammapala Yaman said in short that we practice Dhamma. We keep moral precepts. We never kill, we never steal, we never do sexual misconducts, we never tell lies, we never take drugs and intoxicant. And we practice charity, and we help each other, all our family members, all our community practice Dhamma. Our place is very safe. This community is very secure because we practice Dhamma. That is why in our Dhammapala clan, nobody dies young. So from this story, we need to understand that the practice of Dhamma can give results in this very life. We don't have to wait until the another life to get results from that meritorious deeds. So now meritorious deeds, dana, charity, sila, moral precepts, samatha meditation, vipassana meditation, etc. These are heap of merits. Meritorious deeds, the practice of vipassana is the best. Because vipassana practice can lead direct to the eradications of mental defilements once and for all, or the total purifications of mind. That is why we practice vipassana meditation. Vipassana meditation is actually mindfulness meditation, keeping ourselves mindful of the object at the present moment. It is important that we practice vipassana meditation. We see the true nature of psychophysical phenomena. It is important that when we practice vipassana meditation, we see the true nature of mind and matter. The true nature of mind and matter means seeing these phenomena are impermanent, they are suffering, or they are always oppressed by rising and disappearing, and they are insubstantial. So now you understand how to practice vipassana meditation. When you sit, you have to know sitting, keep your upper body straight, breathe in, breathe out steadily, keep your mind on the abdomen, noting rising and falling of the abdomen. Concentrate on your breathing. If you really pay attention to the rise and fall of the abdomen, you will feel stiffness, tension, movements. These are the physical phenomena. These physical phenomena of rising and falling, the movements are coming and going. When you really pay attention, you can see the true nature, appearing and disappearing nature of mind and matter. When you practice walking meditation, you just note walking, walking, or 2 stages in 1 step, raising, dropping, or 3 stages in 1 step, raising, pushing forward, dropping, etc. If you really pay attention to the walking, the movements of the legs, you will see raising, lightness, pushing forward, pushing, dropping. Then you will feel heaviness, dropping to the floor. You will feel hardness. You can discover the 4 elements: air elements, fire elements, water elements, and earth elements. And they are coming and going continuously. When you see these 3 characteristics, impermanent, suffering, and non-self nature of these phenomena, you get wearied with your mind and matter, and you will ultimately, this knowledge will ultimately lead to your attainment of enlightenment. In order to see this true nature of mind and matter, we need to observe these phenomena as they really are. The instruction is very simple. When you sit, you have to know sitting. When you walk, you have to know walking. When you stand, you have to know standing. When you see, you have to know seeing. When you hear, you have to know hearing, etc. When you hear, you have to note hearing, hearing. Pay attention to that hearing, hearing, hearing. If you concentrate on that hearing, you will discover that hearing is the sound wave striking the eardrums. Sound wave and ear sensitivity are physical phenomena. Hearing consciousness is mental phenomena. As soon as you know the hearing, sound wave disappear, hearing consciousness disappear. And when you discover the phenomena as they really are, you get wearied with this mind and body, and that will ultimately lead to your attainment of your enlightenment. So we need to look at the phenomena so that we see it clearly and we see what it is, or we see its specification and so on. And only the object of the present moment lends itself to be scrutinized, to be watched. Those phenomena, those mind and body that are past and those that will come in the future cannot be observed closely. Simply because they are not here with us. That is why in the practice of Vipassana meditation, the object at the present moment is the most important. So we try to be mindful of that object. Once we see the true nature of the mind and matter at the present moment, we can understand by inference that mind and body in the past were also impermanent, and mind and body in the future will also be impermanent. So by inference, we understand these three characteristics of mind and matter of the past and mind and matter in the future. But in order to see directly these three characteristics, impermanent, suffering, and non-self nature, we have to observe. We have to be mindful of the object at the present moment. So when we practice Vipassana meditation, we try to be mindful of the object that is present, and we try to watch the present object. Trying to be mindful of the object is to see it clearly, to see its nature, to see its characteristics, and ultimately to get weary with mind and matter and reach enlightenment or achieve the eradications of our mental defilements. When we practice Vipassana meditation, we are practicing Dhamma, so we will get the benefits of the practice of Dhamma in terms of happy future rebirths and so on. And if we are totally successful with the practice, then we will be able to reach the stage of enlightenment. We will be able to achieve the total purifications of mind, so there will be no more rebirth in the future. Mind, we practice Vipassana meditation. We practice mindfulness meditation. We try to be mindful of the mental states that arise in our mind, and we try to be mindful of what is happening in our body, Wash your body continuously. Rising, falling, sitting, touching, seeing, hearing. You're mindful what is happening in your body. Actually, you are trying to be mindful of everything that becomes prominent at the present moment. With the practice of Vipassana meditation, we expect to achieve total purifications of mind. Even if we cannot achieve total purifications of mind, we will be able to achieve partial purifications of mind. Even partial purifications of mind is much better than not getting the purification at all. So with that total purifications in mind, we practice Vipassana meditation. So now in Vipassana meditation, what are the important thing is present object. Try to be mindful of the object, present moment. The present moment exists for that particular moment. Seeing, disappear, hearing, disappear, smelling, disappear, tasting, disappear, touching, thinking, all disappear. Very immediately, try to pay more attention. Another thing is to pay bare attention to the object, to take the object as it is, not with any addition of your own. No judgment, no speculation, no analyzing, and so on. When you happy, notice happy, happy. When you feel sad, notice sad, sad. When there is pain, notice pain, pain. When you note pain, with your concentration, pain is pain, and your body is another one. Body and pain are separated. It is so amazing. The concentration power is so high. It can separate the pain and the body. So no judgment, no speculation, no analyzing are needed in the practice. Just see the phenomena as they really are. Another thing is not to have expectation. It is very important that you do not have expectation. Although they are useful because they motivate us to practice, to come to the center, to practice meditation. But when we are in the practice, expectation become obstacle. So we have to avoid expectation. If you can take care of these three things, when you practice Vipassana meditation, you will get the results. So if you want to get the results, you will not get the results because there is desire, there is attachment there. But you leave the desire alone. You leave the expectation alone and just be mindful of the object at the present moment. You stay in the present moment. You enjoy being in the present moment, and then the benefits will come to you. That is what Vipassana is about. So we hope not only you, not only me, all of us will be able to achieve our goal through the practice of Vipassana meditation. So Buddha words, don't forget that Dhamma protect the person who practice it. The Dhamma well practice produce happiness, and Dhamma practitioner does not go to existence of suffering. Dhamma hovi rakati dhammachari, Dhammo sucheno sukama vahati, isani sanso dhamme suchene, nadukate gijati dhammachari. So you are noting are very precious, note continuously and meticulously. So we have to stop our discourse for today. By practicing Vipassana meditation, by practicing the Dhamma, by observing every phenomena occurring at the six senses, by noting rising, falling, sitting, touching, standing, stretching, bending, walking, lying, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and so on. By noting every phenomena occurring at the six senses, continuously and meticulously, may all yogis be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future.